Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Friday, December 2nd, and we are continuing in this series about that divine appointment. And today I'm going to be intentionally a little bit vague. Some of you will figure out who I'm talking about. But in this story, let me back up a bit. Back in the biblical times, the tradition was when somebody died, the women would go and they would take care of the body. They would put spices in it and, do a bunch of different things to it. I don't really know all of the specifics of that. That what was traditionally done. It was done anytime somebody died. It was a way of showing your love for the person who had passed away that one last time. You're taking care of that body. So it was just part of the routine. So there was this situation where a guy was killed and the women were going to take care of the body. They thought this is just another routine thing. This is what we do. They're very grief-stricken. So they're very emotional because this loved one has passed away and been killed. So they get to the tomb, and when they get to the tomb, it's open. And they're like, what is going on here? So Mary Magdalene runs back and she gets Peter and she says, hey, and John, and I think that's it that went there. They went running and they look in the tomb and it's empty. And they're going, what is going on? So at this point, are they thinking about a divine appointment? Probably not. They're just completely bewildered. They're completely going, what has happened here? They're under the assumption that the body has been stolen. Okay? So then John and Peter have gone back to tell the other disciples that the body is gone. And Mary is standing there weeping outside the tomb. And then she sees two angels standing in white that were sitting where the body of Jesus had been laid. One at the head and one at the foot. And I'm in John chapter 20 right now. And they said to her, woman, why are you weeping? And she said to them, they have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him. Having said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing, but she didn't know it was Jesus. She may still be unaware of the divine appointment. Jesus said to her, woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking? Supposing him to be the gardener, she said, sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away. Jesus said to her, Mary. She turned to him and said in Aramaic, Rabboni, which means teacher. And then he tells her that he's going to ascend back to the Father. At this point, Mary's aware of the divine appointment. But this divine appointment is different from the other ones in so many ways. The thing I really want to pull out of here is sometimes the divine appointment builds your relationship with Christ. Mary is seeing the fulfillment of all that prophecy that Jesus has risen from the dead. She's seeing that every time that Jesus said he was going to rise from the dead, he meant it, and it's actually happened. The gospel is that payment for sin, that conquering of sin, is now complete because he's risen from the dead. And Mary knows all this. Mary knows the impact of this. She knows what Jesus has said. She knows what has happened. Mary gets it. So as you go into your prayer closet today, remember, a divine appointment is not necessarily for the person that you are with. It may be something that builds you. It may be something that is for your benefit. And we need to be open to that. If you know me personally, you know that I used to do therapy dog work. And I would take my dog into facilities and we would work with patients that were in the facilities. They were often quite older. And one of my favorite places to go in these facilities was the Alzheimer's and dementia unit. Well, I got to know this one woman, and there were days where she wouldn't talk at all. There were days where when she did talk, she didn't make much sense. And I had been praying and praying and praying for an opportunity to tell her about Christ. And I got there one day, and she had that 1,000-yard stare. I'm thinking to myself, well, she's probably not going to talk, but I'm going to try. So I sat down and I said her name and I started to talk to her. And at the time, I was feeling very discouraged, and I really wasn't sure where God wanted me. And I was just praying that the Lord would help me push to that next level. I was kind of like on a treadmill in my relationship with Christ. And I was praying for that big breakthrough. I'd been praying for it for a few weeks. So I sit down to talk with this woman, and I'm thinking she's not going to talk to me. And all of a sudden, she just snaps right out of it. She's completely lucid. I come to find out that she used to be a missionary. And she and I started talking about Christ and how our relationship with Christ grew. And it was that push that I need. It was that encouragement that I needed. It was a divine appointment for my personal relationship with Christ. And that day really pushed my relationship with Christ to the next level. I never saw this woman lucid again. It was just that one time. God set up that divine appointment to answer my prayer for that encouragement, and also answer my prayer in being able to be certain that this woman knew who Jesus is and had a relationship with Jesus. So sometimes the divine appointment is not for somebody else. Sometimes it's for you. So as you go into your prayer closet, pray over that and be aware that that divine appointment could be something that's for your personal relationship with Christ, just as it was for Mary at the tomb. Today is Friday, so I've got to remind you there's no video tomorrow. I'll be back with you on Sunday. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.